Well, hello and good morning. It's 8 a.m. here in New Delhi, and I'm Charu Shankar.
And I'm Archit Seshadri. Thanks so much for watching us. Our first WION Breakfast show in 2017. Hard to believe it's 2017, right?
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. And before moving forward with the rest of the show, here are the heads up this morning.
On WION Breakfast, we'll be talking about a South Indian tribe which is providing anti-venom to hospitals across India.
Also on our show today, we bring you a project that claims that a dog can detect breast cancer.
Well, this week on our fitness routine on WION Stretch, we have Zubin. Follow him for all of his unique yoga mantras.
And after yoga, we have something special for all the food lovers there. Stay tuned to find out what's on our Quick Bites.
It looks quite delicious. I'm kind of excited to see what we're going to have on Quick Bites today.
Yep.
Yum, right? So how was your New Year's, Charu, by the way?
New Year's was nice and quiet, you know, Archit. I'm kind of done with all the partying. And you know what used to happen to me? Every time we would like head out for a party, we would almost invariably end up spending midnight stuck in traffic.
Oh, God, I know.
It happened to me so many times. After a while, I think I just said, forget it. It's
Might as well enjoy the comfort of the seat,
right? May as well just be with my my family and my friends, and that's what we've been doing.
That's kind of what I did too. I was kind of like debating about going, you know, to a national park, or if I should go, you know, explore, you know, downtown, the nightlife. And I was like, you know what? The best New Year is just sitting in the comfort of your bed, watching it, relaxing, don't have to deal with all the crazy traffic or the drunk drivers. Yeah. So I was like, it was actually very low key, but do have an interesting thing that happened, which I'll share later on on WION Breakfast.
Okay.
Yes, very informative. So.
All right. Okay. Well, we will find out about that later. Yes. But let's take you now to southern India. Since the 1970s, the Irula Snake Catchers Cooperative has been operating on the outskirts of the southern city of Chennai, and it has revolutionized the treatment of snake bites in India. It's been enabling it to produce enough anti-venom to supply hospitals across the country.
Yeah, the cooperative was set up by an American conservativist who is he's controlled by the state authorities. So let's find out how exactly they operate and what they do in their lives as they go about their mission, and it's their sacred work.
A snake catcher in India at work. Kali is paid $3.50 for a viper. A cobra will earn him $35. It's good but risky money in a country that records the world's highest number of annual deaths from snake bites. 46,000 according to one study.
I found a snake lying in the field, a Russell's viper. I caught him and I was about to put him in the bag, but it slipped and bit my hand. My hand started to swell and hurt, and there was a lot of blood. Then I went to a nearby place and washed my hand with clean water.
Kali works for a snake catchers cooperative on the outskirts of the southern city of Chennai. It's also the only source of income for his tribe, the Irula, one of the region's poorest.
We don't have much education, we're not interested in other work, but this is important, it's sacred to us. We don't know any other work, but this job we can do very well.
The Irula have revolutionized the treatment of snake bites in India. Each reptile they catch has its venom harvested 4 times for the production of anti-venom before being released back into the wild.
The venoms are injected into horses, then antigens taken from the horses are used to make anti-venom. Whether you're bitten by a cobra or a crate, it's a single anti-venom that is given. There's no separate medicine for every snake bite. A common one is produced for all snake bites.
India has over 200 serpent species, and the 4 most poisonous are found throughout the country. And with the deadly bites occurring on average every 12 minutes, there is no shortage of work for Kali, Kumar and the rest of the cooperative.
Wow, what a story there. I mean, anti-venom
Quite
is...
scary, actually.
Yeah, I could see you like squirming in your seat.
I don't
What?
like snakes
You don't like snakes at all?
You like snakes?
No, I don't like snakes, Arjun, but I'm not like...
Oh, I
Look at you. You can barely sit still.
I'm like, are they under my seat? Are they here?
Well, okay, I must admit, I understand how you feel because
Right.
I've been there.
Right.
But I've been living on a farm now for the last 6 years,
Right.
and we have a small
Lot of snakes
vegetation
there?
patch. And yeah, there are a lot of snakes. I mean, we find
will not be
one
visiting.
pretty much... Oh, come on. It's not like they're out all the time.
I know,
you
but
know, you have to
still.
understand this about snakes. It's not like they're popping up out of every nook
Right.
and corner, and it's not like they want to bite you.
They're actually afraid. They kind of want to do their own thing. as well, right?
Exactly. They're scared. They're more scared than you are.
Right, but the thing is, we can't kill them. They can kill us. So that's the contrary.
No, you know, unfortunately, we're the ones who are the greatest. Like, snakes don't really have too many predators in the
Right.
in the wild. I mean, of course, there are birds and stuff.
Right.
But otherwise, they're
humans.
quite okay. It's humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's humans that they have to really, really watch out for.
Right, interesting. Well, all right, well, we'll leave it on that note. Leave that hiss there.
But I think that's amazing work that's
Absolutely.
happening in Chennai.
I mean, I'm from Chennai. I didn't
Anti-venom-
even know about the snake trap. I think it's you know, bites do happen, and it's a good way to kind of sort of be smart about the whole process.
Anti-venom is absolutely the only thing that you can, you know, administer in case of a snake bite.
Right.
And there are so many species of deadly snakes that are to
Right.
be found in
Right.
India, even
True.
today.
Absolutely. Good stuff to know.
But not all snakes are deadly. You must also know that.
If I see a snake, I'm running. I'm not going to wait. I'm like, well,
You're
this
not
is
going to
a
wait to like
non-poisonous
Google
one.
it and check if it's
I see anything
poisonous or
squirm,
not.
I'm out of there.
All right, well, let's slither out of this story
I
and
like it.
into our next story, which is from Pakistan.
That's right. This next story is about a doctor from Pakistan. He's providing a free medical care to thousands of people every single year. It's providing a much-needed alternative to Pakistan's public health sector, which critics are saying is just chaotic, it's corrupt, and it's really vastly understaffed.
Well, that's right, and this story tells us about this angel in disguise. Have a look.
Camped outside a transplant center in Karachi, these people are waiting for a last chance at life. Like hundreds of thousands of poor and sick Pakistanis each year, they've come a long way to receive quality treatment for free. The person they have to thank for it is this 79-year-old man who dedicated his life to providing a much-needed alternative to Pakistan's public health sector.
Pakistan is spending about a very small fraction of GNP on health and education, 0.8%, something like that. And that too comes not the priority.
Dr. Rizvi started out with just an 8-bed ward. Today, his institute provides one of the largest treatment networks in South Asia and has cared for millions of people since the 1970s. 30% of its budget now comes from the government, the rest from donations. Here, all patients are treated the same, whatever the social status, whatever the complaint.
This is a good facility, especially for the poor. If you go for such tests on a commercial basis, that would cost 10,000 to 15,000 rupees. So this facility is much better.
More than 300 transplants and 260,000 dialysis sessions were carried out here in 2015. Follow-up treatments and medications are also offered, all entirely for free. It's a life-saving facility for patients like Hina, who has needed dialysis since she was 4 years old.
I used to go to school until the 7th grade, but then I had to quit. I really wish to resume my schooling. May Allah help me to get my transplant, and then I will restart my studies.
Like hundreds of patients around her, Hina is reliant on Dr. Rizvi, and he has no plans of slowing down. Retirement is out of the question. His plan is rather to tackle another enemy, cancer.
What an inspiring story. What a great way to start the new year off to help out those who sometimes can't afford, healthcare access, some of the basic necessities. A lot of these things can be, if treated early on, or even little things like that, just giving people the medical care can prevent them from becoming a much more complicated health situation.
Now, I love stories like this. It's such a great way to start your day by knowing that there are people out there who are ready to do their bit.
Right.
They're not shying from it. They're
Right.
not like blaming public
inspiring
authorities.
others.
They're like, well, if it does, if things are not working, doesn't matter. This is what I can do.
Right.
And really, that little bit makes such a big difference.
Huge difference. difference. Absolutely. You know, just people doing their part. I mean, even in the US, I see a lot of people who are in med school. They come to India to work in some of the rural villages to help give people those access to medical facilities, the basic care, things like that. So it's like very inspiring. There's a lot of good people out there, and people want to do good. And seeing stories like this, certainly, hopefully, it will inspire others this new year.
Absolutely. Well, you know, there is also that story coming out of Pakistan a few months ago about the EB services.
Yes, one of the biggest ambulances services there, right?
That's right. They run ambulances, and they specially focus on providing care for orphans.
Right.
And one of their greatest success stories was, of course, Geeta, the girl who was returned to India.
Right.
And yeah,
building bridges, you know, between.
Building bridges, absolutely. Well, I say 2017 should be the year for people who are ready to do their bit.
Absolutely. So if you haven't found something to be inspired by, hopefully the story inspired you. So many things to give back and be grateful for. But with that, time for a quick break here on WION Breakfast. But lots of stories from around the world. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We both are welcoming you.
We would both like to welcome you back.
Yes.
You are still watching WION Breakfast.
That is right. That's right. You know, lots to get to this exciting year. You know, so much happening around the world. We've done a couple of health stories.
Yes.
So interesting to see that the inspirational health stories. And speaking of health, let's continue on that track. I guess we have more stories like that.
Absolutely. Yes, we do. We have a very interesting story coming in from France. Now, cancer is definitely one of the demons that has terrorized the modern world.
Absolutely.
It's increasing in frequency, and it's becoming more and more virulent. But there is a lot of research that is going into the treatment of cancer. And there's a unique collaboration going on right now between a dog training business in France and the Curie Cancer Institute. And they are hoping to find an alternative to finding tumors, and specifically for breast cancer. The K-Dog project trains dogs to use their sense of smell to pick up on the tumors.
Well, that's right. You know, could this non-invasive method revolutionize the way that breast cancer is tested and possibly even help with early detection? Now, interestingly, nearly 1 out of every 10 women in France especially are suffering from breast cancer. So this could change the course of how cancer is detected. Let's take a look.
Thor is restless. The 2-year-old Belgian Malinois is keen to get to his training session, but what goes on behind this door is hidden from the cameras. Thor isn't like other dogs, and his training isn't conventional. His acute sense of smell makes him the perfect candidate for a new trial. He's learning how to detect breast cancer. At each session, he's given 2 sets of wipes. One has come into contact with the sweat of women who have the cancer or with the tumours themselves. The other hasn't. Thor has to work out which is which.
He doesn't see a difference between the samples. He does it with his sense of smell, because that's how we've trained him. It tells him that there's something to notice, something that he's started to recognise, and if he wants to get his reward, he should sit down in front of this jar. So it's like a game.
The training's intense. Thor and another dog complete 15 sessions a day and will smell hundreds of samples over the coming months. And it was here at the Curie Institute in Paris that the idea was born.
The scars caused by tumours have an unpleasant smell. I was doing research to try to understand why they smelt bad, so we could find a solution. But through this we realised that some strong-smelling compounds must be linked not to the infection or to the metabolism of the person, but to the tumour itself.
Patients don't come into contact with the animals, which are hundreds of miles away in the Haute-Vienne region of France. Instead, they're given a kit to take home, an odourless shower gel, some wipes in a sterile pot. The patients put the squares of fabric on themselves and leave it overnight, a method which could revolutionise breast cancer screening in France.
40% of women who choose not to take part in free screening programmes could join the K-Dog programme because it's less scary than mammograms. There's no men in white coats and no pain.
The team will analyse the first results after 6 months, and if the findings are positive, they'll undertake clinical research on a larger scale. In America, a similar study to detect prostate cancer had a success rate of more than 90%. And with no need for expensive equipment, this method has the potential to reach countries with far fewer resources in the future.
Well, cancer is something that a lot of people deal with, and I think, things like this sort of certainly help and give people who either deal with it or even doctors some kind of hope that early detection is key. It's so important to go out and get tested.
Yes.
And, dog truly could be man's best friend, right?
I know. I mean, just look at that.
Very inspiring.
Very, very inspiring.
Absolutely.
And
we'll see if
one always knew that a dog's sense of smell is so acute.
Absolutely.
And also, I just find the dogs are so sensitive that they do pick up on on all kinds of vibrations.
They pick up a lot of different things. It's stuff that humans sometimes, obviously we don't know, but like their sense of smell is impeccable when it comes to this. And even like, there's dangerous situations, the dogs just know and they truly can alert their owner. So kudos again to man's best friend.
Yeah, I know. I think it's an incredible piece of research that is going on. And
right.
Well, let's see. Let's see what they come up with.
Very true.
Let's see what they come up with. Well, moving on from health stories onwards to entertainment.
Our favorite topic, right?
Our favorite topic, movies. And of course, movies are big on locations.
That's right.
The fancier, the better.
Everyone likes the big sets, the elaborate costumes and things like that. So.
Yeah, and forget sets. I mean, when you have natural locations like Europe, in the background,
the Lord of the Rings,
that's all
Harry
you need.
Potter stuff, you see it and like, wow, it's like spectacular, but it's the director's dream, I think. Everything is there. Nothing has to be, digitally mastered in.
That's right. That's right. Well, sets, of course, is one way to go, but then there are costs that are involved. And the bigger the costs, the more difficult it is to make the movie. But international production teams are increasingly choosing to shoot their films in Hungary to save money. How did they do that?
Well, this is a part that's very, I guess people don't think about some of these countries, but in the last decade, Hungary has become one of the top spots, one of the hot spots for film shoots, with the capital Budapest now one of the top choices for filmmakers across Central Europe. Let's find out why they're all so hungry.
A street transformed into a set. It's a familiar scene in Hungary, where more and more filmmakers are choosing to shoot to save money. Each year, over 250 film companies call action here, a source of pride for this Hungarian director.
As a filmmaker, I'm really proud of my city. I'm really proud of the people I work with here. We are absolutely class 5 all over in the world.
Filmmakers come to Hungary to take advantage of the low production costs and fully trained local crews, but also the competitive tax break. The National Film Office reimburses international studios 25% of their production costs. But it's Hungary itself that reaps the biggest rewards. In 2014, foreign production houses spent €180 million in the country.
It is very, 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 very important for the Hungarian economy because in Hungary, it is the highest in Europe how much the film industry itself contributes to the GDP.
And it's not just big bucks, but big stars. This film studio is one of the largest in Europe and has been the scene of some major Hollywood productions, including Inferno with Tom Hanks and Ridley Scott's The Martian.
In the last 2 years since our tax incentive was increased and everything's been working well, not only Korda Studios but all of Hungary has been filled with productions. Budapest has pretty much become the second major filmmaking hub in Europe after London.
The boost for Hungarian cinema has also put their exports in the spotlight. Last year, the drama Son of Saul won the Grand Prix at Cannes, as well as the Foreign Film Oscar. And with such a win-win for both Hungarian and foreign studios, it may be a while before anyone calls cut on the relationship.
All right, now we heard about Budapest, Hungary being a top spot for many filmmakers. I'm going to put our anchor here, Charu, on the spot.
No, I don't like being on the spot.
She doesn't like quizzes, but I was like,
I hate quizzes.
It's easy. It's not that hard. Well, it is for me, but I don't know if you're not a big. You like films, though. You're not a big film buff, right?
I'm not. I'm really not. No, I just.
This might be hard then. So anyway, in the United States, there's obviously Los Angeles, a huge, movie entertainment hub.
Yeah, that I know.
That you know.
That I know.
There's also New York for Broadway theater.
Yes.
There's one more up-and-coming emerging city that is now being labeled as the new Hollywood that's happening in the United States. It's a big city, yes.
It's a big city.
It's a big city. It's all
Is
I
it
can
East
tell you.
Coast, West Coast?
East Coast.
Do I get 10 questions?
You get 5.
All right, East Coast.
East Coast.
Okay, is it north or south of New York?
South.
South of New York. Is it Atlanta?
It is Atlanta.
What are you
We
saying?
didn't even practice this, I swear. Isn't that, see? She's better than she thinks it is, but it's Atlanta.
I'm really amazed that I got a question right. I'm so bad at quizzes. I hate being put on the spot.
But they're putting them, so anyway.
Really? Atlanta is the new Hollywood.
Atlanta, Georgia, and many of these states because they're giving tax incentives. So North Carolina, Georgia, many of these states, you see all these TV shows, they're Walking Dead is shot in Atlanta. Many of these shows are shot there because it's cheaper for them. It's also the landscape. It's a different scene than LA. The weather is, very similar to California. And when they're getting all these government incentives to, it's a win-win for them. So, just a fun fact for the new year.
That's insane.
ATL for the movies.
Wow. Well, that I did not know.
Yes. Well, something, and you're good at trivia, so now I'm going to ask you more questions.
Oh, I don't want to start this trend in 2020.
That's not one of your resolutions, right?
All right. No, it's not. And we're gonna have a quick chat about this.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
In the meantime, you are. In the meantime, it's time for you to take a short break, but do stay tuned as Archit and I will pick up the papers after this break. Well, those were the headlines this hour, but now it's time for Archit and me to pick up the newspapers and read a little more between the lines.
All right, so what do we have this exciting new year? What's brewing in our headlines?
All right, well, I have this story from the DNA, and I have been telling you about technology all of last week, right?
You love technology, right? You love it.
Yes, but now technology, but now technology is literally going to be flying us into the age of the Jetsons.
Oh, wow.
Because they are building drones that can now carry humans. This is a story from the DNA.
Amazing.
It's by Karishma Modi, and she says the Flight 16 drone can be utilized for commuter flight, personal tourism, emergency and military services, and cargo delivery.
Talk about skipping traffic, right? That's a good way to get out of it. Amazon even does that now.
Amazon delivers by drones?
I don't know completely, but there's a proposal that they're going to be delivering some of their parcels and packages by drones.
Wow.
So it's a very interesting, interesting way to get your goods or your packages, your delivery, instead of waiting on the delivery person to drop it off, your mail person. So,
yeah, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, one sort of associates drones with, I don't know, other things like war.
Or even I've seen drones, journalists using it for footage of coverage, aerial viewpoints. So I think I saw the Nepal earthquake. But it's such an interesting time that we live in to see how drones. I mean, would you ever go on a drone? Is that scary?
I'm not sure. I was just thinking about that. I don't know. I mean,
I think I would need to know more about it. I think it's cautiously optimistic.
The safety factor of it, I need to be really assured about that before I'm okay with letting a machine fly me across the city.
Or I would do it, but not super high. I would fly maybe a little bit, so that way if I need to jump off, I can jump off.
So you're in luck because at the moment they can only fly a single person on. They can only fly with a single person on board and only 2 to 3 feet off the ground.
Oh, that's fine. And that way, if you need it, if it fails, you can jump off. Geronimo, I'm done. Oh, but that's very interesting.
Well, the company envisions this device to be used for, of course, personal commute, emergency services, etc. And they believe that even though people can fly around in airplanes, they generally require runways and expensive infrastructure, etc., which is unavailable in regions such as densely packed urban areas, mountainous terrain, blah, blah.
You can always put a runway everywhere. And, think about even this. This just might be revolutionized. You don't need anything.
You don't need any. You just need a driveway to take off and another driveway to
land.
Land.
Right.
And
the only thing is
fly
about weather,
above the traffic. I mean, very often, sometimes when someone's honking at me, I'm like, oh, just fly over me, just fly over me. But I think that might actually become reality.
Maybe our New Year's might not be in traffic after all. We might be flying drones.
That's right. Maybe next year I can go out and party because I'll have a drone to take
Hopefully not too many people, then there'll be drone traffic.
Yeah, that's the next question. I mean, there's so many things actually that need to be worked out.
Lights, regulation, who controls? Is there an X amount of people that can be in the skies? Is there an air traffic control for drones?
They're going to have to put in a whole bunch of new laws and rules. I mean, I did paragliding once, and they taught us traffic, navigating.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So when you're in the air and there are other gliders, there are rules, right? Because they're coming at you with the with the wind. So it's really fast.
You don't want a collision midair.
You don't want a collision midair. That's fatal.
Right.
So they have rules
drones could have technology
for that.
They might even have a thing built in where it can detect nearby drones, and it would be guide straight, go left, drop altitude. I'm sure with technology, there's got to be some of that stuff already inbuilt.
That's true. Well, they already have cars which no longer require drivers.
That's
already happening.
Even Uber is doing that, I think. Like self-driving
Self-driven cars, yeah.
I need a person. It's like when I need help, I don't like those automated phone things. I'm like, I want to talk to a person. But so goods and bads of technology, I guess, right? You know, have to see how much. But very interesting to hear about the drones. You know, who knows? We'll see if that pans out.
Well, Karishma ends her article by saying, you know, could this be the precursor to the Jetsons era?
Wow. You see that, you know, the cartoons coming to life. Isn't that crazy? Soon we'll all be blue. Oh, wait, she's already blue.
Thank you.
I have an interesting article, too, from the Hindu this morning. So we talk about New Year's resolutions and things that people should do. Not everybody does it. It's okay. You don't have to have one. But these are some interesting points that I was reading out. It's like 5 classes you might want to take in 2017. It's weird saying 2017. It's almost said 2016.
I know, right?
5 classes that the Hindu came up with, and they're very affordable as well.
Okay.
There's stand-up paddling, which you might like.
What's stand-up paddling?
So
it's like a fitness regime.
You're basically standing up in the water and you're strapped in a life jacket and you paddle through the water. It started in Hawaii, but you can easily burn up to 1,400 to 1,500 calories.
Wow!
And it's offered all over the place. There's a different place in an intense session, and it starts about 50,000 run out a boat, and it could go up to 100,000. So a little bit more pricey, but a fun adventure with the family.
Well, definitely something you'd like to take up in the summers.
Exactly.
Water aerobics is huge in India already, and
you
know they have classes for water aerobics with your baby.
I've seen that, like swim, you know, mom and tots, and mom and toddler kind of thing.
So they're great fun, especially in the Indian summer where you know you really want to be.
You want in the water. You want to be in the water. Well, this other one is also cool. Number 2 is golf for kids. So it's not just for people who are, you know, business professionals or a networking sport. They're even teaching kids at a younger age. Kids even as young as 7 are going around the globe taking part in golf tournaments. So that's another thing that people could do. There's a class in Chennai at the Madras Gymkhana Club. It's 1,500.
Oh, that's
nice.
nice.
1,500.
Yeah.
So very, very affordable. There's sculpting, storytelling, and calligraphy. So those are the other interesting classes, very artsy, you know, sculpting with, you know, clay and, you know, creating pots. Certainly storytelling, something that we both hopefully do a decent job and do it every day, but getting people to understand, listen, like the folk tales, how people listen to myths and teaching people about the old story time and sitting around gathering. And of course, calligraphy, the beautiful artwork that we see. So lots of fun things to do this year if you haven't thought about a class. Never too late to start a new class.
Yeah, well, that's nice. Well, some more artsy news coming up. The 9th edition of the India Art Fair is going to start on February 2nd here in New Delhi. This is an article from the Indian Express.
Okay.
And have you ever been to the art fair?
I've been to some art fairs, but not this one. I've definitely been to a couple, but I've not seen the one here in Delhi.
The India Art Fair is incredible.
Okay.
It's huge, and they have such wonderful, wonderful art pieces.
And what type? Is it contemporary, modern art?
It's mostly contemporary, and it's a great interface for buyers and artists.
Okay.
So it works very, very well. And Neha Kirpal has been of course, she's the founding director of the India Art Fair, and she's very excited about this particular edition. And we're going to have a Pakistani-American contemporary artist, Anila Aga, and she'd be presenting her first major work, All the Flowers Are For Me, which is a sculptural installation which captures the identity, beauty and femininity of her mother.
Wonderful.
And Phantom Pain, which is again by a Delhi-based artist, Mithu Sen, straddles defined categories of art making as well as the distance between the artist and the audience. So there's going to be a lot of interactive art this time. There's going to be a lot of talks, a lot of discussions.
Interpretations.
And of course, you can go out there and buy great pieces of art.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Something fun for everybody to do. Way to kick off the year with a artsy feel, I guess.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Absolutely.
The 2nd February is when it begins.
Right.
And it is happening here in New Delhi. And it attracts people from all over the world. And it's a great place to just go to.
Definitely on my bucket list of things to go check out in Delhi. So much to do here.
We should go together.
We should, absolutely.
We should go together. They even have workshops there. So I mean,
really?
it's a
do
great
both.
way
Combine
to
the classes with looking at art.
There you go.
There you go. Wonderful.
There you go.
Well, you know, something else that people need to be mindful of this year, in general, all the time, but thinking about, like, especially with the holidays, we get so excited about things that we do, but one thing that from living a personal experience not too long ago, having smoke detectors at your house. This is something...
Smoke detectors?
Smoke detectors. This is something that a lot of people do in the United States. Here, a lot of people, and you don't because, and as much as it's difficult to talk about it, it's like on New Year's Day, I had a fire in my house. So quite a scary situation, but thank God I'm okay.
Yes.
You know, health is, you know, wealth. We cannot replace it.
Were you there?
Yes and no. So I live in Noida. I'd gone to the gym, just stepped out for about 20, 30 minutes, and came back, and I come back to my house, and I see smokes. And I just moved in like a couple of days back.
Oh my
I see
God.
the house is full of smoke. And
That
I'm like,
is
very scary because you know what it's like, or you see it on television, but when you actually have to deal with the fire, it's like, wow, I see it, and you feel helpless. There's nothing you can do except you have to act quickly, act on your feet, and get going. So let's talk about a little bit fire safety, and then we'll finish. We'll finish explaining the story. But some of the big things that I would recommend, and these are from this is the Consumer Product Safety Commission. This is their recommendation as well. But for someone that's actually lived through it, let's talk about it. Have a smoke alarm that is working on every level, both inside and outside of your bedrooms, especially those that are working. You want to check those batteries at least a few times a year.
And I really like this one. Always stay in the kitchen when cooking. Always stand by your pan.
Oil, ghee, all that easily can catch on fire,
Absolutely. Right? No, and you know, something can boil over, and the fire can go out, and the gas can leak, and you really need to stay in the kitchen when cooking. Never just leave stuff.
Never leave anything there.
Never leave anything unattended.
And this one is also really important, the plan. I think always in life you should have a plan, but when it comes to fire, people don't think about that, right? You don't think it's going to happen to me, but you know, in my case, it was a short circuit. The heater, there was a short circuit, it wasn't grounded. Have a plan. Have a plan of how to escape. Know what you need, the priorities. If you're able to salvage anything, luckily for me, I was able to get my passport, not my passport, my phone, my wallet, my laptop, and all that. My passport, unfortunately, perished.
Oh my God.
But thank God, whatever, I took pictures of my passport and my OCI before, so I have soft copies of everything.
Oh, good.
So I'm hoping to get that done, but even things like that, get copies of, you know, insurance, your credit cards, your licenses, any important documents, passports, and have a plan to escape. You know, in case there is a fire in the middle of the night, if you're not at home, give people access to your, you know, leaving a spare key, having a sense of, you know, this is what I'm going to do in case there is that fire.
Right.
Because I think having a plan makes it a little bit easier, and everybody's like, how are you so calm about this? I said, well, you have to live life like that. I think we both have that, right? You cannot sit there and wallow in it. Life goes on, you know, having a plan and, you know, doing what you can, you know, putting a smile. And speaking of that, Brooks Brothers helped me style my outfit today. So thank you to Brooks Brothers. Very, very sweet of them. This beautiful, this jacket, this pants. So a lot to be grateful for.
You're looking very handsome.
Oh, thank you. Very sweet. Thank you. So I'm doing okay, but I'm like dealing with it. So I'm kind of like, you know what? It happens. Nobody died. No one got hurt. So we just have to have a plan, but have a plan for fire safety. Very important issue.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of times, you know, we just forget.
We don't think about it.
These are things that are never going to happen to us, you know, but but it's good to be prepared.
Exactly. And anybody and anyone is always vulnerable, but if you're ready, you can save lives, and that's the most important thing.
Wow.
All right. So on a very educative note, right?
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break and let you kind of stay tuned. We have more exciting, fun stuff. Fitness time right after this.
Oh yes, fitness and food.
Ooh,
this
our
time.
favorites.
Yes,
right?
our favorites.
All right.
Do come back after this break. Hello and welcome back. You are watching WION Breakfast, and it's time now to get on with WION Stretch. And this week we bring you a yoga session with Zubin Atre, and he's going to be showcasing his yoga mantra. It's going to keep you fit in a few quick asanas.
Hi, my name is Zubin Atre. I'm the founder of Atre Yoga, and today I'll be taking you through a series of asanas where we'll be focusing on the movements of the neck. The whole idea will be to thaw the muscles around the neck and the shoulders so that we can get deeper into the stretches further. Make sure that you're very nice and gentle to yourself. Make sure that you're breathing all the time when you're practicing. And if you have any health issues or medical histories, make sure that you consult your physician before you practice. So we're going to start with sitting right in the center of the mat with equal space on your right and equal space on your left. Make sure that your hips are in line with the border of the mat behind. You can place both your hands on top of the knees in Shin Mudra. Drop your shoulders down to relax and make sure that your chest is right above your hips. Close your eyes very gently and let yourself become aware of your surroundings. Become aware of your presence in time and space, and watch how the breath is working on your body and watch how the breath is working on your mind. Pay close attention towards the inhalations and towards the exhalations. Watch the breath entering the nostrils, watch the breath touching the back of your throat, and watch how the breath goes down along the spine. And allow every inhalation to hold your spine upright. And how with every release of the breath, you let yourself relax your shoulders, you let yourself relax the back of your neck, your facial muscles, and your skull. Now maintaining the awareness levels up high, maintaining the stability and stillness within, We are now going to take a long deep breath in together to chant the universal sound of Om once. Inhale. Now bring your palms together, rub them nicely, make them warm. Slowly cup your eyes very gently and open up your eyes. Great. So leave the left hand on top of the left knee with the palm facing up and stretch the right arm out towards the border of the mat on the right hand side. Reach out with your fingers as much as you can, holding your spine upright and straight. Just simply tilt your head down away from the right. The whole idea at the moment is to stretch the right hand side of the neck. Continue breathing in and out and make sure that your chest is right above your hips. Now slowly when you breathe in, you're going to let yourself stretch the right arm further out as if you're reaching towards the corner of the mat at the bottom, and lift your chin up towards where your left knee is pointing at the moment. Now visualize your chin being further far and away from the fingertips of the right. Continue breathing in and out and slow down your breath further. Now to get an extra nice stretch, you're going to pull your fingers in towards yourself and continue holding the position to breathe in deeper and slower. As you breathe out, you're going to get the arm up over the head, head comes back to the center, cover the left ear with your right hand and tilt your head down to the right hand side. Now while you hold yourself into this position, make sure that your right shoulder is relaxed and your spine remains upright. Now from there, when you breathe out, you're going to take your right hand to the left corner of the neck behind and you lower the chin down to the right hand side of the chest. Now if you visualize yourself from above, what you notice is that your right elbow, your right knee and the crown of the head, they'll be pointing in the same direction. Continue breathing in and out. Now slowly when you breathe out, you're going to lower the right hand down on top of the knee and relax. Right arm is totally relaxed and supple. Stretch the left arm out, reaching out towards the border of the mat on the left hand side. Reach out with the fingers as much as you can. Spine remains upright. So simply tilt your head down away from the left arm. Keep your lips together. Continue breathing in and out. Now take a long deep breath in. Lift your chin up towards where your right knee is pointing at the moment. Continue breathing in and out. Now stretch the left arm further out towards the corner of the mat. The whole idea is to stretch the scale lines on the left hand side and visualize how far your chin goes away from the fingertips of the left hand behind. Take a long deep breath in for an extra nice stretch. You can always pull your fingertips in towards yourself so that you can stick your palms out to get an extra stretch along the forearm. Slowly when you breathe out, you're going to get the arm up over the head, cover the right ear with your left hand and tilt your head down to the left hand side. Now while you're doing this, make sure that your left shoulder and your right shoulder, they're totally relaxed and supple. Continue breathing in and out. Now slowly when you breathe out, you're going to move your left hand to the right corner of the neck behind. Lower the chin down to the chest. Hold your spine upright. The stretch should be at the back of the neck on the right hand side. Visualize that your left elbow, left knee and the crown of the head will be pointing in the same direction. Now slowly when you breathe in, you're going to let yourself bring your head back to the center. Lower the hand down on top of the knee and relax. You can practice these micro stretches anywhere, anytime during the day. They will help you feel refreshed and more awake. And keep watching this series as we get further deeper into the stretches and we come up with emotionally uplifting twists. I'll see you in the mat very soon.
Oh. Okay. So I think I got it, right?
I think someone is really inspired.
Look, I can do the position. I'm sitting right. I can't do the Surya Namaskar though. You can do that.
Yeah.
I would fail.
I do that
would miserably fail. So I'm gonna keep watching Zuban more. I couldn't do it. But you know what I can do really well is eat. I can eat really well, I think. I love food.
I know that.
You know, we talk about it all the time.
You're always talking about food all the time.
You know, the funny thing is, I think my eyes are more greedy than my stomach. So I want to eat everything, but I'm like, oh, I can't eat so much. This is too much. Like, it looks so good, I want everything. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
No, but I'm such a foodie. Like, so the act of eating, like tasting stuff.
You want everything.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
I'm terrible. Like after dinner, if I'm reading, and I always read before bed, I need to eat something.
Nibble. I wish I was nibbling.
Not that I'm hungry at all. It's just that nibbly thing. Well, speaking of good food, we have a good surprise for you this as we begin 2017 with a new food segment.
Yes.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Chef Ashish from Cafe Delhi High. Today I'm going to make delicious pancake. For pancake, you need butter, you need flour, you need sugar, you need eggs, you need fruits to top, you need soda bicarb, you need vanilla essence to avoid the smell of egg. Now we'll take 2 eggs, break it in a separate bowl, I'll take sugar. I'll add egg into that. I'll whisk it little so that it's a grainy sugar to dissolve it nice. And we can add some vanilla essence before we forget. And why we are adding vanilla essence? We are adding it just to counter the smell of egg. And now we will add. Keep adding the milk. Wait off. Mix it nicely and try to avoid all the bubbles, all the chunks of flour into this. Add some softened butter to it just to get a nice glaze. And so as you can see, now the batter is ready. Now we will switch on the pan. Now I am adding we'll lay down the fruits, apple, bit of peated cherries, sauce in between also. This is the maple syrup, good old maple syrup. To give the twist, you can add some chocolate sauce. Anything, any sauce you can add here. Again, I'll drizzle some maple syrup because I am a maple syrup lover. So I prefer to have more of maple. Like this. And we are ready with our pancake with the fruits filling. You can do it with the multiple fillings of your desired taste. Thanks.
What a yummy, yummy appetite there by Chef Ashish, part of our Quick Bites, a new segment we have here with food and lots of delicious stuff. I know you're a big lover of pancakes and maple syrup.
I love pancakes. Pancakes and maple syrup makes my day.
Makes your day. So we'll bring you that. Not that you need it, but we'll give that to you. That'll be your little surprise treat in the morning.
Thank you, Archie.
So that is the New Year's resolution that I will keep, to give Charu pancakes. But let's ask the Twitterati what their New Year's resolution is going to be for 2017. We took a little poll, see what people have to say. So let's check it out. New Year's resolutions I will keep.
Okay, well, Ronald says, don't make New Year's resolutions I will keep. Instead, set goals that you can start right now. Ooh, I like that.
I like that too.
I like that. Goals means you have a plan, right?
True.
Otherwise, it's just wishful thinking.
Boo Sunshine says, drinking less sodas. Well, that's a good one because sodas can add up calories real quick. Giving up those caffeinated drinks can definitely shed those pounds and kilos.
Definitely. Well, Chaotic Perfection says, I will make more time to do things alone. Books, beach, beer, bye.
Oh, interesting. But I thought you didn't
I like
read.
that.
It's interesting, but I'm like, don't you read books alone? Maybe she does group readings. I don't know. All right. Well, Gabrielle says, be more honest and forthcoming about my emotions and feelings. Lots more I statements. Lots more openness. Okay.
All right. Very nice. Well, Elias Hussain says, New Year's resolutions I will keep. Don't settle for what's easy. Take risks and be bold.
I love it.
I like that. I like that.
Very good.
Wow. Well, Twitter is full of inspirational stuff today.
Okay, we have another one here. It says, keeping myself out of toxic friendships, relationship situations. Very worthy and good. A good resolution, cut the negativity out of your life.
Absolutely. And well, Michu says to continue putting effort into restoring our planet for all of us.
Ooh, environmentalist. Climate change. It's so true. We got to think about the next generation, right?
I tell you, this Twitter brings me hope. It really does today.
And speaking of inspiration, Crystal says, my New Year's resolution I will keep. Inspire others every chance I get. Certainly a good one that everyone needs to adopt and do what your little part is to inspire others.
Yeah. And Liana says to sing more in 2017. Ooh, I like that.
I like that. Karaoke. And Maj says, becoming a better, more responsible man. Well, that's always a step in the right direction, right? So some very exciting and inspiring New Year's resolutions that many of those people will keep.
Absolutely. Well, if you have a New Year's resolution that you want to tell us about, just tweet to us at WION Breakfast, or tweet to Archit or to me on our Twitter handles.
Absolutely.
And we will put your resolution on air.
But with this,
you might see it right here,
Absolutely.
and you will have us talk about it. With this, we would like to unmic ourselves. Connect with us via Twitter, tweet to us at WION Breakfast, and watch us tomorrow. I'm Charu Shankar.
And I'm Archit Tashari. Thank you again so much for all of our guests, Zubin, of course, Brooks Brothers, everybody who makes this show. And we're excited to kick off the year, but thanks for watching WION Breakfast. See you tomorrow.